Okay, so good day, everyone. So the success of a global integration project depends on, among other things, optimized governance and security. We are joined today by Microsoft MVP Nino Crudele, who is an expert in this area. He will share the best practices and options in the field and will also show all the fundamental aspects to achieve perfect governance and security in Microsoft Azure. Okay, Nino, so the floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I'm very excited about this session. I'm very excited about to participate to this event. As always, something about me. We have 30 minutes. I have so much to to tell you about security, everything. I'm a freelance. I'm very focused on governance, Azure Governance Security, MVP since 2006, certificate ethical hacker. I provide support to companies. So there are some of the services I can provide here in the slide. Just feel free to contact me. There are all my contacts just in this slide, and just ping me for any information. Just feel free for anything, whatever. So let's just dig in the session, because we have so much to speak about security. Why security? As I said, I work in governance and security, and I actually support a global company since 2 years now. My role is global Azure lead. It's huge, it's massive. So I learned a lot in 2 years. As my experience now in governance and security, I would say, is really, really important. So I like to share you today just about security. And what is important from my experience. First of all, to beat a hacker, you have to think like a hacker. And this is the session is about. This is completely useless. I'm going to tell you about how to set up a WAF or firewall or wherever. Just you need to understand how a hacker thinks, how a hacker is going to hack your Azure infrastructure. I think a lot of managers and people maybe won't sleep very well tonight after this session. So let's go in and let's be bad. Let's go to the common profile. It can be everything. It can be everybody. It can be for fun. It can be an angry employee. That is really dangerous. This is something that is coming from the internal, and it has happened many times. Activists, they don't like what they are doing. Criminal organization, cracker. This is really bad people, because they actually attack you just to destroy you. That's it. This is something that it doesn't make sense, but this is actually what they do. And mercenary, actually, there are people, hacker, that they can be, hired by your competitor or wherever, and they just usually, the tactic is very easy. They usually apply for a job in your company. They enter in your company, very low profile, something like that, and they just start understanding about your company and try, first of all, privilege escalation, create an account, a backdoor inside your organization. And when the time is coming, then they are going to start in their attack. And usually they steal information, this kind of stuff. So from my experience, the most important area in Azure, a critical area, are Azure Active Directory, RBAC, storage, and network. And the most critical attack for each of this area are privilege escalation, I would say, for Active Directory, phishing and ransomware, of course, for storage, and for networking, I would say denial of service attack, and attack specifically on protocol like RDP and SSH, unfortunately very used inside Azure. Why privilege escalation? And the first, because there is an account in Azure which is named global admin. Global admin is actually is one for all. That is the best definition. So using global admin, actually, you have access almost everywhere. It's the highest account in Active Directory. Well, unfortunately, Active Directory, as you can see from the slide, is actually tied to the root management group. Root management group is actually the root management group you have on top of your subscription. And this tenant is actually tied to this root management group. If you give permission to an account with global admin access to this root management group, actually you have a global admin inside your Azure infrastructure. this global admin actually can do almost everything. And, you know, Microsoft provide a lot of stuff to protect this kind of situation, this account. For example, multi-factor authentication. I know you are aware about what exactly is multi-factor authentication, but I think you are not aware about these things. So last year, during the Black Hat in USA 2009, Microsoft released some very interesting statistics. It was about the number of users of global admin account that are actually using MFA globally, right? So they created this percentage, these statistics, right? So they just run a scan in entire cloud. So think about what kind of number was the result in 2019, I mean last year. I would say 50%. 50% is quite scary, right? So because it's just a half of the global admin account globally, right? So unfortunately not, that was the result. This is absolutely scary. So if you think about that and say, well, what the heck? The 8%, just the 8% of the global admin account globally in the world, they have multi-factor authentication enabled. That's absolutely horrible, scary. And this is very easy. You only need to go to the global admin account in the user and enable multi-factor authentication. Go back to the office, wherever you are, and you're not going to do that, just do it immediately. Without MFA, you are in very high risk right now. So there is also privileged identity management, which is a feature provided by Microsoft. You can escalate for amount of time with your account as global admin. Unfortunately, there is a point here. The global admin, when the account is going to escalate as global admin, he can do everything he wants. So actually, he can enable this setting you can see here in Active Directory. And if the global admin is going to enable this setting here, you can find under property in Active Directory, this is what is going to happen. So actually, you can see this one is the global admin. And when you enable this feature, you actually enable visibility and ownership and access as ownership as global admin account to any, be careful, to any Azure resources tied to the tenant. Which means if you have also different enterprise agreement across the globe, everywhere, and they are actually using, I mean, the Azure resources inside, and they are actually tied to this tenant, the global admin actually is going to see everything everywhere. He's actually owner of this. So actually, another bad point is this one is not going to deactivate it automatically. You need to remember that. So this is why it's so important. Enable monitoring everything. Check what your account are doing. If someone enables some critical feature, like for example this one, immediate email, right? There are also tools around like IDF spoof, which is able to pick up a token from an XML token, and actually an hacker is also able to impersonate your Active Directory Federation server. Well, right, so this is pretty bad. Phishing, of course, because actually the block storage, everything they actually use, I mean, a domain, a Windows, Microsoft trusted domain. So actually, email, they're going to stop them. So you need to monitor also all this area. And ransomware, yes, everything we use inside Azure is actually storage. It's storage everywhere. So if we get encrypted inside the storage, actually a hacker can do very bad things. But let me put the black hat. All right, now I'm going to be bad. Let's dig in and let's go practice. First of all, attack. The attack can be in two different types. It can be physical, and it can be using, externally, So how attack physically happen? So first of all, people can just access in your company, can open stuff, can look around, documentation, all these kinds of things. Yes, you close the things, but actually hacker can use something like that. You see, I hope you can see from the cam. This is a very good asset of pick locking and very good sorted. This is branding like Sparrow. It's a very nice one. You can actually open almost everything with that. So you can even get training with that. So there are, you see, this one is a locker. This locker is pretty good. These 7 pistons, something like that. So a hacker, what he's doing is actually something like that. He's going to pick up, is able to get this one and just do something like that, right? So done, open. So this was just 7 pistons. So it's quite good locker, to be honest. But as you can see, the technique I use, the name is Scramble. So as you can see, you don't need a big brain to do something like that. So other thing is this one. This one is the pineapple. As you can see, this one is pineapple. So actually, this one is very nasty because actually the hacker usually connect this one to Raspberry Pi or something like that. Is put in a backpack, just go inside the company, run. So what is doing this device here is actually hacking all your Wi-Fi. So something happened is people will start saying, and say, "Whoa, my Wi-Fi has got a problem. It's not running anymore." Actually, it's going to be hacked by this one. It's going to collect any kind of information around your network. And trust me, this is very effective. You don't need a great expertise to do something like that. Of course, a great hacker can build something very good on the bottom. Another thing is this one is the hack RF1. So using this one, you are actually able to open any kind of things that is actually under radio frequency, command. It can be even your car, wherever it is, door, other things. Now, very easy. This one is a Raspberry. This one is the rubbery duck. You can see there are different models, all this kind of stuff. You just attach this one in USB or the computer, boom, you are done. The hacker is in. It's still information, everything. As you can see physically, it's very easy, extremely easy, right? So never underestimate your perimeter, especially inside the company, what people are doing with a computer. There are also many other things. But let's go back now in the other side. So we saw now the physical, go for, the virtual. You are there just watching my session, everything like that. You think, well, what exactly is going on? I mean, is so dangerous around? Yes, it's so dangerous, guys. So what you are seeing right now, this is actually the denial service attack actually around the world, right? You can find a lot of this attack map around. I show you that's the most important and the beautiful, just to see. This one, for example, you can actually see people attacking each other, everything like that. And there are also this one, which is something amazing, and I like to see is the Kaspersky cyber threat. This one is giving you a very good idea, about what is vision, about what is exactly is going on around the world. Very beautiful to see. So you can see color, everything. If you leave the video gone, you can also go and dig inside. This is actually, guys, what is going on right now. I'm speaking to you. There are 8 million attacks or more. I don't remember now. It was like 8 million attacks or more, like now around the globe. So scared, right? Okay. How a denial service attack actually is. So people just attack your endpoint, they try blocking your system, everything like that. It's not usually easy to identify a denial service attack. Something you can use is this one is a tool, is the Logstalgia. It's something you can use. You can collect all your logs. So think about a manager is telling, oh, we have been asked, I think we got a denial service attack. Something you can do, you can examine what kind of attack has been. So using Logstalgia, you just use the log, and something you can do is going to produce a video like this one. This one, for example, is HTTP traffic, nothing more than that. On the left, you see the source. On the right, you see all the destination pages, everything. This is actually what is it. This is people using web, using internet, right? So let's go back, for example, and see this one. This one is one of the biggest denial service attack ever, right? So they've been able to collect all this stuff and produce this video, which is really funny, I would say. I really love this video, I need to be honest. So yeah, as you can see, all packet, everything just sitting a single unique endpoint. All right. This is so nasty that they're actually, the packet, the firewall is not even able to block the packet per se. So yeah. So denial of service is really bad. And unfortunately, Azure provide a standard, provide a service for denial of service attack. This is out of the box, but I recommend you to use the standard level at least, which is providing you much more security. So don't hesitate spending some more money on that. Did you see now? This is really bad. It's happening every single day, right? About privilege escalation or RDP protocol. Well, I don't know if you know Shodan. Shodan is actually a Google, a raw Google, able to provide you information. This is actually scanning continuously stuff around the internet, endpoint, everything. If I put Azure here, all right, I'm going to see here now everything almost related to Azure, right? This is the result. So this is, you know, everything, certificate, HTTP protocol, wherever it is, you know, everything open actually to internet from Azure. I mean, what actually Shodan has been able to trace, right? But if I do that, so 3389 port, which actually 3389 port, I know you're aware about that. This is the RDP connectivity, right? Well, this is what happened, right? So this is actually virtual machine open on internet. I'm not doing anything illegal right now, guys, because this one is actually public. You can go right now in Shodan and do exactly the same thing I did right now. And this is what you're going to see right now. This is actually machine exposed on internet. This is machine maybe you are using in your integration solution or wherever, BizTalk machine, maybe machine with BizTalk inside, wherever it is, and it actually exposed. So, and as you can see, there are also account, everything like that. So think about a hacker. The first things, it can be a kid, wherever. You just start and playing with this stuff. It can be very nasty. It can be extremely dangerous. But this is what exactly a hacker does. Hacker is going to search, is going to research, is going to look in your company, try understanding what we are doing. Who is the manager? Who is the IT administrator, right? This is what the first things is going to look at the hacker. Is going to look for the DNS, is going to understand what kind of service you are using, this kind of stuff, is going to look for name. As you can see here, this is some IT administrator inside one company. So they look about this stuff. But they also use other tools. There are many tools for that. One of the most nasty tools, I would say, is this one, Maltego. If you never heard about this tool, that's what's quite nasty too. So actually this one is one of the best tools for social engineering. So what exactly they do is, let me open this one. If I'm able to open it, it's quite easy. All right, so it's going to open. So it's open for you a new table, a diagram. Something we're going to do is drag and drop this one. I'm going to say, let me pick up a website. We need to be careful because we are bad guy now, okay? You need a permission to do that, guys. You cannot attack anything and nothing, right? You cannot attack without a permission, which is the name is get out of jail card. You need to ask the permission and write permission for that, right? Okay, but this is something you can do in your company to check if everything is good, if you are exposing something bad, right? So if I click here, I put this one. This one is one of the free websites that you can use for exercising, trying your skill. So you just click transform and Maltego is start scanning. It's using a lot of transformation around. They call transformation, they actually scripting, all this kind of stuff. That's nasty. That's nasty. So actually, what actually is doing is scanning everywhere. It's scanning on Facebook, it's scanning in Google, it's scanning everywhere in DNS, it's scanning any kind of things he's able to find for you. He's able to find almost everything. They actually, there are transformed, they're actually going to check inside company phone, in company, telephone company, all this kind of stuff. And you can actually start seeing a lot of interesting things. So actually, this is what the hacker is going to look about. You see, there are private IP, there are IP addresses. Sorry, there are IP addresses here. There are some website related. There are email addresses. There is a phone here. I can try calling this phone and see what is going on and what is that. And many other things, Of course, you can go and you can dig much more. You can go there and click in there, and you can go and transform and dig and dig and dig and dig. And this is going to give you a lot of stuff, a lot of information. We are not aware, guys, about what exactly is going on when we use internet, right? When we do stuff in general, right? So to give you a very simple idea, just when you use your browser, let me see if this one is able to work. This one is an add-on for Firefox. The name is Lightbeam. This is actually what you are seeing now is the graph representation of my cookies during my last week of navigation, right? There are so many cookies here. Look, this is all connection across all the website, which means, I don't know, I navigate in the Microsoft website. You cannot see the icon now because there are so many that actually the machine is struggling right now. But if you use Lightbeam here like that, and you start from the scratch navigating in website like Facebook or your company website, wherever, or your integration solution, you can actually see how cookies are going to be traced around, right? You may be very, very surprised. Sometimes I'm not going to make names, but very famous name of companies, trusted companies, sending cookies to Google or Amazon or wherever. This is not good at all. So look at this. That's absolutely scary. Absolutely scary. So Lightbeam, you can try using this one. This is really good. It is even fun not to use. So let's go now in something like Logic App. Because we are in integration now. Why Logic App? Because Logic App I love Logic App. It's very nice technology. Is so easy to use. It's just drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. It's integrated everywhere in Azure, everywhere. You can do everything. I use Logic App in Security Center, in Sentinel, everything. You need to learn Logic App. That's important because you can do a lot of stuff with Logic App. But people many times thinking about, oh, just drag and drop everything. I have my box, so this should be secure. It's secure, but actually, you know, it depending about what the developer does. This is one example. This is one clear example. This is a very simple Logic App which is receiving HTTP request. Of course, this one is just an example, a clear example to give you an idea about what they're speaking about, right? So this is something developed by developer, and you know, this is what the developer. It was select star from booking table where booking ID is equal to the parameter I'm passing from the HTTP request. And actually the result is something like that. So let me just pick up this one so I can show you what exactly is the result when we try this query, right? This is actually the query I get back from my Logic App service, right? It's taking time. I don't know why. I don't care right now. Maybe the portal is just struggling now. I'm not touching anything right now, guys. I just closed everything, so it cannot be anything nasty right now, right? So let's go in this one. I don't care right now. We will go back in this page when this demo. What I like to show you is this. Let me show you is this one. We can. This is what a hacker does. The hacker is going to scan everything, right? And for scanning, I mean, scanning the endpoint using, for example, Shodan, or scanning the DNS, or scanning all kind of endpoint in the infrastructure. The point is that many of the infrastructure are actually exposed. I mean, we know about the public IP used by Microsoft. If you go here, let's remove this one because it's very annoying. I'm going to overload with this one. This one actually is a link. Is it going there? All right. I don't know what is going on, but it looks like internet is abandoning me right now. Let me see here. I hope you are able to see me right now. Okay. Okay. I hope you are able to follow my session right now, because I don't know. It looks like internet here is getting trouble. Anyway, go back. What I can do is, what a hacker does is using proper tool and operating system. So, for example, a very good tool, a very great tool is Kali Linux. Kali Linux is an operating system specifically created with a lot of tools inside about hacking. You actually see here, you can have a lot of tools, have a lot of nasty things that you can use actually for hacking and all this stuff. So something I can do is scanning my IPs, and scanning the Azure IPs. So actually you can download on all the public IP reserved from Azure from internet. That was the link I was trying to show you before, but actually, I don't know, I'm not able to see this link. I'm not able to navigate anymore. All right, anyway, no problem. But actually the result is this one. This is the file. You have all the public IP for all the region, right? So what a hacker does is just starting the listing. And speaking about organization, with a lot of computer, a lot of server, this is what they do. They just starting and, and bam, scanning everything and get any endpoint. So when they reach the endpoint, in our case, is our Logic App endpoint, what they do is they attack the endpoint. So if I go here to my Kali Linux machine, there is a nice nasty tool, which the name is SQL Map, right? SQL Map is actually used for this kind of stuff and try any kind of nasty things using SQL injection. So I'm going to execute right now here. First and enter. So actually now SQL Map is tied to testing. It's testing. Okay, it's reaching, which is good, because actually it's telling me that actually I'm connected. You should be able to see my session right now. That's good. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So you can see it got it. So this is SQL injection, right? So it got the endpoint. Now the attacker is going to be very bad with your database, with everything he can. So how we can protect something like that? Of course, we have a lot of stuff. We can do prevention. We can monitor. For example, we have Azure Sentinel. This is actually Azure Sentinel is something I use a lot, because actually this is what is able to do. Azure Sentinel is going to monitor your endpoint. Gotcha. This one. This is the potential SQL injection. It just got now my attack now to Azure Sentinel. So I got to the endpoint. Now I can start in. I can also investigate. I can look about what's happening, what is going on. Be careful what I'm going to show you right now. This is what he got from Sentinel. Sentinel say, oh, hey, you've been hacked. Okay, that was a SQL injection. It's coming from this IP. You know where this IP is coming from? This is from Netherlands. This is not my home. I'm from UK. What the heck? This is from Netherlands. Right? So people say, what is going on? If you trace this IP, this is actually Microsoft data center. So you think, what the heck? Microsoft is hacking me? SQL injection? This is not. The point is what the security center, sorry, what security, I forgot to close this one. What security is actually, security center is actually monitoring, is monitoring databases, virtual machine, all this kind of stuff. So security center actually got the last IP, right? That was the last IP address, which was actually the database, right? So how we can protect the endpoint then? We protect the endpoint using web application firewall and centralize our security. Using what? Using, for example, Azure Front Door. Azure Front Door is very nice infrastructure, something you can use to centralize your security. You can set your backend pool, you can set your rules, and you can set web application firewall for each backend pool and everything you need, which is extremely good. But the important message I want to tell you about that, and we are almost at the end of our session, but feel free to call me, ping me in team. Happy to have a chat with you, everything, even 1 hour. I do that. It's not a problem at all. In 1 hour, you don't have idea how much you can do in 1 hour. I can just look at your infrastructure and say, that's well done. That's really bad. You know, something like that. You can solve big problem. But anyway, you need to understand the positioning of technology. If I ask a person right now, many person, I can ask, I don't know, a person, how you are going to centralize your security, your networking security, which technology you are going to use. You know, you need to understand one thing is, I can give you a very quick, very useful tip for that, you know, and I use my best tool for that. So let's do this. I just traced this one like that. Okay, we put the G as global, we put the R as regional, and we split like that. And we have HTTP, and HTTPS, and we all the other protocol, right? So if I wanted to manage security globally with HTTP, HTTPS, Azure Front Door, that's it. For the regional application gateway, down Azure Traffic Manager for all the other protocols. That's it. No discussion on that. On regional, network load balancer. Easy. But of course, it is easy. This one I'm showing you right now, but the result of this little graph I'm showing you is 2 years working in Azure Governance and security for a global company, right? So I think I have so many things to show you guys, but we are almost at the end of the session, and also the slides, because I don't have any other slide to show you. And I would switch on the Q&A. I think people maybe have a question for me, so feel free.
Nino, the next session starts in like 1 minute, so
all right,
can you just quickly summarize? Or
can I answer the question?
Yeah, you have one question, like does enabling allow Azure services and resources to access this server option in Azure government tenant open up SQL server to external governments and or hackers?
Yes, everything. When you enable allow user services everything, the global admin account is going to be owner everywhere. And the bad things, and this is what I try by myself, I also raise a ticket in Microsoft for that, is that actually when you remove the privileged identity management without disabling this one, actually your account is still owner everywhere. That is absolutely scary, damn scary. So this is why this setting, specific setting, need to be monitored, especially also global admin account.
Yeah, only one question we had, and that's
okay.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you then. I hope you appreciate the session. See you then. Bye.
Covey.co